Did you just buy a fixer or an investment property and you are going to need to design it, but you have no design background whatsoever? Well, in this video, I'm gonna show you not only how I got this place designed for 75 bucks, but I'm gonna show you my process so you can do it too. So stick around to get all the details. See you on the other side. All right, guys, like I mentioned in this video, I'm gonna show you how I got my investment property professionally designed for less than 75 bucks and show you how I turned this into this. But before we get into that, let me quickly introduce myself if this is your first time here. My name is Patrick Longley. I'm a licensed real estate agent and investor out here in Oahu, Hawaii, helping buyers, sellers, and investors, potentially like you, with their real estate needs. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I got my contact information right here, or you can directly DM me on any of my social media platforms. With that being said, let's get into how I designed my investment property for less than 75 bucks. Now, a lot of people don't talk about this. When you buy a fixer, you're thinking of all these grandiose ideas of things you want to do, but you really can't visualize what you're actually going to do or what it's actually going to look like. And you want to do that before you start tearing down any walls, putting down any floor, coloring any walls. These are things you're gonna wanna do, but a lot of people don't know how to do that. They just think that it'll look good. They actually spend the money, install the cabinets, install the countertops, paint the walls, and sometimes it doesn't always look how they visioned it in their brain. So what I did, coming from a digital advertising background where I outsourced a lot of things, is instead of hiring an interior designer for thousands of dollars, I hired a couple designers on Fiverr, which is this website right here where you can outsource certain digital services. I'm gonna show you my process to ensure that you have the best outcome, because it is very important that you follow this process. Otherwise, you'll see that the success level can be pretty low. So let's jump into exactly my process on how I designed my investment property for less than 75 bucks. So step one is you are going to want to, preferably if you can, empty out the place, make sure that it's clear so you can take raw photos of the property. This is gonna help you not only have before and afters, but also show the space to the designers you're gonna be outsourcing it to, so they can kind of get an idea of the layout. And as you can see in these photos right here, these are just a couple photos of what the property looked like before we got to work. Step number two is to make a floor plan. Now, if you wait till the end of this video, I have a bonus that would have made this process way quicker and way easier if you have a complicated floor plan, but this one was pretty simple. It's pretty much a box. So we got measurements of all the walls and essentially just drew it out. As you can see in this photo right here, it's pretty raw, but it's enough for the designers to utilize so that they have essentially the square footage and the space that they can work with when they're designing the property for you. Step number three is super fun. This is when you just go to my favorite website, Pinterest. So you're just gonna go to Pinterest, type in whatever design you're looking for, whether that's beach boho or modern barn or whatever mix you're looking for. Just type it into Pinterest, start making a board that's gonna collect all of things that you like so you can put it in one place and show that as inspiration to the designers. Number four is to make a list based on that Pinterest board of notes of things that you like and things that you like to implement, or just ideas. This is just a place where you're trying to put these photos into some type of instructions of some sort for you to utilize when you're giving actual instructions, which will show you how to do that effectively. Step number five is to make a Loom video. Now, you've probably seen some of my videos on YouTube where I'm recording my screen. This is the software that I'm using, Loom, Loom.com. It's a free software that allows you to record your screen. And what you're gonna wanna do is make a video recording your screen and showing the designer all of the concepts and put everything together. So you're gonna show them the raw floor plan, you're gonna show them the raw photos, and then you're gonna show them the Pinterest board and give them directions based on the bullet points that we made on your ideas of, hey, I would like this wall to have an accent wall that has wood slates, or maybe green plants on this area. I would like to have this type of tiles you can see in this Pinterest image. And you basically utilize the video because it can be very difficult when you're working with these designers and maybe English isn't their first language, and we want to use visuals to show them exactly what we want. And having all these things together, organized in a Google Drive folder, which I highly suggest, is to basically show them exactly what you want by recording your screen and showing them with it recording your audio. So this is a very, very key part. You definitely don't want to forget this, because if you just send these people, hey, here is the floor plan, here's a Pinterest board, go with no direction, even if you give them bullet points, the video really helps loop the circle of communication and helps having a higher chance of success when they send you their designs. Number six is to get organized with Google Drive. So what I want you to do is create a Google Drive folder, create that one document where you're going to basically have all your notes of things that you want to see in the design or things you don't want to see. You also want to have on that document, maybe a link to the Pinterest board that you're going to share with them. And then also a link to the Loom video that you made explaining everything that you like. This is going to be important to stay organized and have a place for them to basically reference quickly and easily, so that when you hire them, you can just basically send them a link, say, hey, all the information you need to know about the design is located here. Number 7 is to go find those designers. So there are a bunch of different websites I've found for tasks like this that's not too intensive and pretty straightforward, is to use this website called Fiverr. That's Fivver. This is a simple website where you can hire people for gigs or basically outsourcing certain tasks. And this is a place where we're going to find our designers. Now, what you're going to want to do is in the search bar, you're just going to want to type in interior designer. You'll see a bunch of people pop up. I have found that generally it can be anywhere between, $20 to $100 for these guys. And I generally like to get a little bit of everything. I usually hire 3 or 4, and I'll get different price points. Maybe I'll get somebody for $20, maybe I'll hire somebody for $50. But I ended up hiring, I think, 2 or 3 people, each for like $25 to $40. I didn't spend more than $75, but I want to get multiple designers so that I can see multiple designs from different perspectives. And then from there, I'm going to hire them and then basically give them that link that we organized in the Google Drive folder with the video, with the bullet points, the raw photos of the property, the floor plan that shows them all the measurements. Then they'll have everything in that Google Drive folder, which is why we organized it. Step 8 is to review the design. So after you send it to them, generally it takes sometimes between 24 and 72 hours to come back with their first round of designs. Generally, it does take a couple rounds of designs. And make sure when you're booking the gigs, when it says revisions, it usually will say unlimited or 2 or 3 revisions. So this is why it's important to be specific with what we want so that you get it preferably pretty close the first time around. But they're going to send you their first round of designs. You're going to review them. And then once again, if it's not what you like, make another Loom video specific for that designer, telling them what you like, what you want to change, and then send it back to them. And then do that for the other designers that you have. And keep going through that process until you get something close to what you like. And step 9 is to get your final design. And as you can see, here are some designs that I got from some of the people that I hired using my Pinterest board in that process. And this is what they look like. And then after it's all done, this is what our actual Airbnb ended up looking like in completion. So as you can see, guys, it doesn't have to be that difficult. It is a process, but it can save you a lot of money and it can be pretty fun, to be straight up with you, when you're going through it, because when you're actually in the process of designing it, when it's time to actually put the floor in, paint it, put up accent walls, pick your tile, you have an idea of exactly what it's going to look like. And we're pretty pumped with the way that our property came out, specifically using this process. And I'm actually going to be doing this on a bigger single family home project. I'm going to be making a separate video on that. Now, with that being said, I did promise you a bonus when it came to the floor plan. I wish I knew about this tool prior, but it wasn't that difficult because it was just a box. But with this next project, there's a lot more walls and square footage that needs to be accounted for. So one thing that would have saved me a lot of time is if you use this app called For Plan, for the number plan. It's a simple app. It's essentially free. They have some premiums that you can pay for, but you essentially just walk through the property with your phone. It will scan the area and get you the measurements of all the walls and makes it really easy to spit out a floor plan. So if you have a complicated thing you need to design and you need a complicated floor plan to adjust, you can use this awesome app. I was able to get a pretty accurate floor plan for a 1,400 square foot property that I just purchased in probably about 5 minutes by just walking through the property. It's pretty epic. So highly suggest using that if you are gonna go through this process. With that being said, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. If you got any value out of this video, do me a huge favor, smash the like button as well as click subscribe and the notification bell so you get notified whenever I drop videos just like this. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. With that being said, I'm Patrick with PatrickWallingRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. Hope you have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.